So when we read the week's Parsha, we see that the Jewish children of Israel are in a panic, and there's many different complaints. Let's go back to Egypt and so on, and there's various answers given there by God. And although it is not written as such, the Talmud understands and sees in these words 4 different groups of people making 4 different kinds of challenges, 4 different suggestions to this impossible challenge of being trapped between the Egyptian army and the Reed Sea. One group says, it's hopeless, let's go back to Egypt. A second group says, let's battle the Egyptians. A third group says, let's just jump into the sea. There's no hope, just kill ourselves, we can't go back to Egypt, we can't battle them. And those 3 groups are rebutted with a variety of, as we see in the verses itself, that is not the correct approach. However, Hashem says at the end, Al titzaku, don't shout. And from this we understand there was a 4th group that said we should pray. Now the other ones, from a spiritual perspective, it's understandable why they were not legitimate. What could be wrong with praying? And actually the commentator says now is not the time to pray. So we found there was one individual who took the lead. His name was Nachshon ben Aminadav, and he walks into the sea, and that was when the sea began to split. Now you may ask, was he not like that with the group that says let's jump into the sea? No, because these people felt it was a hopeless situation. There is a sea in front of us, let's just jump into it and end our lives. That's not what Nachshon ben Aminadav said. Actually, he didn't say anything. He said there was a commandment that we were leaving Egypt, we were going towards Mount Sinai to receive the Torah. That is what I was told to do, that's what I'm going to do. I don't see anything else, water, no water. And so in a sense, he ignored the presence of the water because he knew that the divine commandment had to trump the obstacle's nature. And so the Rabbi explains that although the nature is on one level cognizant of the stipulation that was made then, but it kind of forgets it. When is it reminded of it? When the Jew moves forward. It says, Tiso Hashem says, just move forward. It's not about our logic in terms of, should we do this, should we not do this? It's simply that if God said to do this, I go forward, march, and I do it. And it is at that point that the obstacles disappear. It is not a simple thing of, of course we don't see that. We do see obstacles. There appear to be obstacles because the stipulation made with nature that it needs to set itself aside to enable the Jewish people to fulfill the Torah is not always evident. And so therefore, the way we remind nature of the stipulation is by continuing moving forward as if that obstacle didn't exist. And hence, in this fashion, nature and so on is woken up and realizes that the stipulation exists, and hence the Jew moves forward and is able to fulfill his commandment and all the commandments of the Torah, unafraid of the seeming impediments of nature. And so, as a Hasidic saying goes, Ayid is balabas teva, that the Jew in fact is the master over nature because of this power invested within us to fulfill the divine commandments. And that is a lesson of the splitting of the Red Sea.